His story's emotional theme is liberation. He adjusted his tie and told the judge it wasn't his fault I trashed the place. The squeak of his cheap shoes on the linoleum was the only sound in the room. I just watched. Mr. Peterson had been my landlord for 2 years. He was the kind of man who would ignore a leaking pipe for 6 months, but then send a formal notice because my welcome mat was 2 inches over the designated line. He'd show up unannounced, using his key to check the smoke alarms. I put up with it because the rent was low, and I was saving for a down payment, telling myself the inconvenience was worth the goal. The breaking point came when I moved out. I'd spent 48 hours scrubbing the apartment to shine, leaving it better than I found it. 2 weeks later, an email arrived. It was not only keeping my $2,500 security deposit, but was also billing me an additional $4,000 to replace the hardwood floors he claimed my negligence had warped. The email ended with the line, "This is what happens when you don't respect other people's property." Something in me went silent. All the ignored calls and condescending notes clicked into a perfect, clear picture. I didn't get angry. I opened a new folder on my desktop and labeled it Small Claims. For the next month, I was methodical. I compiled the 37 time-stamped photos from my move-in day, which clearly showed the existing water damage by the bathroom. I printed the log of my 14 calls and 8 emails to him about that leaking pipe, all unanswered. My cousin, a paralegal, helped me subpoena the building's maintenance records. Final piece was a signed affidavit from my old neighbor, Zoe, who recalled him complaining about the rotting floorboards long before I ever moved in. The cleverest part was using a clause from his own lease, the one requiring him to respond to maintenance requests within 72 hours. He had weaponized his rules against me. Now I would use them against him. In the courtroom, after he finished his performance, the judge looked at me. I didn't give a speech. I just presented the evidence. "This is the move-in report he signed," I said, placing the photos down. "These are my 14 documented repair requests. He never responded to a single one." Peterson's face went from smug to the color of ash. He started fumbling with his cheap briefcase. The final blow was a screenshot from the original Zillow listing for the apartment, where, if you zoomed in, you could see the exact same water stain on the floor. The judge awarded me my full deposit plus $5,000 in statutory damages for acting in bad faith. Last week, I used that money to cover the closing costs on my own small condo. I saw Peterson at the hardware store yesterday, looking at sealant. He looked like someone just learning a very expensive lesson about other people's property.